This is We the People News. Alright. This video is without prejudice and without recourse. Alright. I'm not waiving any of my rights whatsoever. Alright. So, I'm not an attorney. If I say anything, I'm not giving legal advice. It's just my opinion. Why? Because I'm not an attorney. That's why. Alright. Never. Just look straight forward. Always look around me. Be able to protect myself by any means necessary. We've been doing a couple of videos of judges actually being out of control and saying you must follow the law, but we don't have to. And I'm kind of doing these earlier videos mainly because I believe that most of us are actually starting to take matters in our own hands instead of actually calling attorneys now. Realizing that they're really not there to help you. I mean, after all, the first obligations for attorneys is to protect the bar members, the crown, and the courts, and the public. You're last on the list, and here you are supposed to be forking out all this money. And I challenge anybody to actually say, hey, I'm going to want an attorney to be able to represent me in court. However, I want an attorney that's to be able to stand in court and says, I know the law. Not practicing law. Okay? Every court case is bar members practicing law. The question is, when are they going to get it right? I want one to go in the courtroom and says, Your Honor, I no longer practice law. I actually know the law. So can we go ahead and proceed forward? I bet you won't never find one. Want to bet me? Anyway, this is going to be up to your discretion. It gets a little hairy and messy. And I know this is controversial to some. But to others that's actually started researching things, realizing that some things is really not what it seems. So you have to kind of keep an eye out on and look between the lines of what is going on. Let's go.
We do have a representative from the Wenatchee Daily World here today. There will not be any other recording or pictures allowed other than by the news media.
Now I do agree with that, y'all. When you walk in that courtroom, the number one question should be asked. As soon as I come through this door, do I waive all my rights? Because if we're not recording public and the courts is public, that is a First Amendment right. So, excuse me, you judges need to kind of notify us and let us know that once we go through them doors, that we actually waive our rights.
6 and a 60, that's the only reason I stopped you. Thank you, you should have told me that. No, I don't have to. Yeah, might as well take us off. Take us off. Come on.
Whoa, they're taking him out.
You will sit down or leave.
Will you return my brother to the courtroom?
Sir, this is my courtroom.
No, this is our courtroom. How dare you say that this is your courtroom? This is the people's courtroom.
I'm telling you to be quiet.
I'm telling you, you are in contempt of this court. Do we need to arrest you, ma'am? Lawyers, are you going to tase me, bro? Stand up! Stand up! He's not resisting.
On your side. You gotta back up back. You gotta back up on your side. You gotta move on your side.
What are you pushing it for? You want to start pushing? What? I'm a little bit.
Thank you. So, the representative has just turned it on.
You guys have a camera in this
Well, we
table.
have live streaming on the internet.
Your
Well,
camera.
you were notified that there would be recording, and you were required to notify us in writing if you do not want this recorded, according to Washington State Court rules.
That's a judge's decision.
Okay, let's stop right there real quick, y'all. Sorry, I didn't even know I was going to interrupt this quick. Alright, when you sign paperwork, they got to respond. Okay? Or it's silent acquiescence or a tacit agreement. Even the courts have to do that. Now, they don't do it because of the ignorance of us, right? We let them get by with stuff that they must do also. If I ask if I can record and they do not give me an answer, they tacit agreed to me to be able to go in that court and record. There has to be a remedy. There has to be a rebuttal. And the courts have to do it too. It's not a one-sided thing. It became one-sided because of the ignorance of the people. But in generally, you ask, they must respond. Or a silence acquiescence like they threw on us, and tacit agreement, which is what they do on us all the time, y'all.
The judge is required to notify us in writing.
The judge says to stop. And she'll put that on the record. Do you want to step out?
But no, I don't want to step out.
Okay, I'll talk to the judge.
Sir? On what grounds?
Stand up.
No.
Stand up.
Who stands with me?
Why are you taking him out? You're taking me too, dude.
Yeah, might as well take us all. Take us all. Take us all.
Come on out.
No, take us all.
Whoa. They're taking him out. No. Judge.
The judge does not override the Sixth Amendment, sir.
Listen,
Get out, or there would be cameras here. How dare you violate this peaceful liberty?
You guys, here it's called Constitution. You guys taking over things.
Did somebody grab that camera up front?
Just to be fair and honest with y'all right quick. Now, sometimes you see these judges leave the bench, right? They act like it's for their safety. But what it is, they're changing jurisdiction, and they're leaving the responsibility of the harm to you from the officers. Okay? The judge is actually going in the back to not be responsible for this. So that way, the officers are the guinea pigs, believe it or not. They are the ones committing harm upon you. And the judge is hiding in the back like a scared little mouse, but it's all pretend. Okay? Now, there is incidents that bad things can happen, but in generally, that's what they're leaving for. And it's in my opinion. Okay? I'm not giving legal advice or anything like that. It may or may not be true. But it seems to me, anytime something like this happens, they disappear, and what that entails is that they are shifting the blame on the officers for the judge's wrongdoing.
Somebody go with Nathan. Somebody go with Nathan. Keep the camera on. We went out the door.
All right.
Corey, here, let me see.
It's on there.
All right, folks. So they just arrested Nathan and threw him out of the courtroom. These people They have no respect for the Sixth Amendment, for the Constitution, or for the law. These people swore an oath. We notified this court that there would be filming in this courtroom. They are required by law. This judge is required by law.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down.
This judge, we notified you, ma'am, that we will be recording in this courtroom.
Sir, I'll make a decision on it pretty soon. Go sit down.
You just drug
him out.
Now, the bailiff said, all rise. Now, a lot of people's got it in their head this is out of respect. But no, it's actually a show of authority. Okay? It's kind of like acting as a king. And that's what you're doing. The little peasants must rise up to the king on that bench. Damn it. Sorry about that, y'all. And so this respect thing is out of control of what we believe. It really ain't. It's everything has to do with control. And basically be worshipped. All right? They get frowned, and you know, it's not well, I can't say it's not a church. I mean, the Roman goddess Justice, so it could be a church, but it's the wrong kind of church. You had to take your hat off. You had to dress proper. Everything they're telling you to do is what churches are telling you to do. Back in the old days, you could wear t-shirts and all that. Now they're more lenient in churches more now than ever. But look at that. In the house of God, you don't have to do half what the courts are demanding you to do. Think about that.
Just drug him out. Advisors out of the courtroom with the police. The police just attacked us.
You don't have an advisor, sir.
We are his advisors. And we notified the court of that.
You don't have an advisor, sir.
We notified the court in writing that there would be filming. The court...
Who are you, sir?
I'm a friend of the defendant, and we notified you.
Sir.
I am a citizen of the United States of America, ma'am. Did you swear an oath to the United States Constitution?
Who's that judge saying that they are or are not the advisor or are not counsel? She don't get to decide that.
Sir,
Did you swear an oath to the United States Constitution? Folks, we've got to take back our court. Who will rise and stand in defiance of this lawlessness?
Arrest us all.
Who will stand in defiance of this lawless
I don't know
court?
who you are, but I'm telling you to be quiet.
I'm telling you, you are in contempt of this court. Do we need to arrest you, ma'am?
Mr. Sasheen, come on back. Sit down, please.
You go get Nathan and you return him to the court.
No, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Sir, if you can't be quiet and respectful
Nathan
of the
is
court,
with us. He's a helper in here. He's been helping tell research. He was removed from the courtroom. Within the court rules, ma'am, within the court rules, we notified the court that we would be filming.
If notifying the court is not sufficient, we do have a representative from the...
No, that's not true. We notified the court that we will be filming. The court is required to respond in writing with an articulatable reason under the court
At
rules.
the time of trial, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay, then
Sit down or leave.
let's return.
You will sit down or leave.
Will you return my...
For argument's sake, even if that's true, what was the reason? Right? This guy right here, you can't see because I got a small camera, but the whole entire time, he's been recording. The whole entire time. And one of these officers actually comes and shakes his hand while they're chasing everybody else out. Why? Because he's what they consider mainstream media. See, they seem to think we the people are not medias.
brother to the courtroom?
Sir, you will sit down or
Will
leave.
you return my brother to the courtroom?
You will sit down or
Will you,
leave.
if I sit down, will you address that at least?
Is the...
Will you address that if I sit down? My question about my brother?
I will run the court. You will sit down.
This
or
is the
leave.
people's court, ma'am.
I'm aware of that. You will sit down or leave, sir.
Will you please address my question if I comply with that?
You will sit down or leave. This is my courtroom.
No, this is our courtroom. How dare you say that this is your courtroom? This is the people's courtroom.
The people, I am the one that controls the courtroom. Officers.
You control the courtroom within the boundaries of the Constitution, ma'am.
Someone will either leave or sit down and be quiet.
Who will stand in defiance? Lock the door.
Throw me your phone. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, justice requires. Are you going to tase me, bro?
Stand up! Stand up! Stand up!
What are you going to kick me in the head?
Tase him!
You're twisting my arm, gentlemen.
Tase him!
Get your other arm.
How dare you! You want to trust the court! This is not justice. This is justice.
You got to hit his elbow.
Why are you abusing us? How are they just all?
Man,
You're the job is uphold the Constitution. I mean, why not hold the Constitution?
sir, you're under arrest.
Are we recording this?
You are under arrest.
I declare you in violation.
You're under arrest.
Gentlemen, I request.
Under arrest of what?
You uphold your oath.
Double lock this.
Double lock them, man.
For resisting,
Double lock 'em.
among other things.
That's all.
He's arrested for resisting, amongst everything, other things. Resisting for what crime? What crime has he actually done? We can say he broke rules, but he was standing up for the First Amendment. That when he entered that door, he did not know, because they did not tell him that he is waiving his rights to enter the court to record. Alright? Because the courts tacitly agreed to their paperwork of recording. And they stayed in silence acquiescence. Just saying.
Hey there, buddy. You're hurting my hand.
Zach, if you calm down, we'll take care of this.
You know what? Why aren't you arresting us all?
That man right there is recording. The whole issue in this courtroom is about them recording. This is the whole issue, all in general, in this courtroom, was the recording part. And yet, this guy right here is recording. And nothing is happening to him.
You're going to arrest us all? Why are you arresting him?
This is the situation we're in right now.
Arresting? He's not resisting.
On your side. On your side.
Don't touch me. Just let me stand. Let me stand. Gentlemen, I can handle myself.
Come on up.
I don't know how to start it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Do we got cameras rolling on?
He's got cameras. I'm sorry.
We must stand and start upholding law. We must stand and start demanding these people uphold their oath. Don't get aggressive for you. Keep the cameras rolling, guys. We get through here. This court is in defiance. We filed the motions. We filed the paperwork.
You guys are
Just arrested everybody else.
It's the judge's order. Okay.
I don't care about the judge. You know, when the system gets so corrupt, compliance doesn't work.
Okay, well, it's the judge's order.
Your kid used to get
Sir, will you sit down or leave? Will you sit down or leave?
These officers act like the judge is the king. They're acting like he's the king or she. They are supposed to keep the peace between the two. If the judge is not acting in honor and upholding her oath or his oath of office, you to demand that bailiff to arrest that judge. We've gotten so out of control thinking these judges are kings. They do have their place. I'm not against judges. However, they need to be where they're properly setting to be. Period.
I'm sitting down.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sign, will you sit down or leave?
I want to be arrested.
Is there anything I can do or say to make you...
Yeah, you can bring the people back and quit acting like thugs.
That's not one of the things we
You said, is there anything? I answered your question.
Okay, I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm tired of what you can't do. You started this thing by creating a crime, and then this is what it turns into, and you expect everybody to kiss your boots and comply.
Will you sit down or leave?
No, I'll be arrested.
Officer Ringley, taking the custody. Thank you. Just cooperate.
Let go of the stick.
What's
Let go of the
That's
stick.
personal property.
That's fine. You like it.
Fine too, but you grabbed it.
All right, thank you. You guys have cards at your right.
Yep. We'll go out this way.
Okay.
What's the charge, brother?
Bunch of thugs. They don't have any. There's no
charge? Contempt of court. The court isn't in session.
All right,
Where's
sir.
the judge?
Did the judge vacate
The judge has told me that you either sit down or leave, and that's what we're going to do. I'm giving you the law.
You don't have to be arrested.
Will you sit down or leave?
I think I'm willing to sit down.
What do you want to do?
Again, the sheriff believes the judge has all these magic powers because we've been taught and trained to bow down to him or stand for him.
You get arrested.
Right there. Guys recording. The sheriff is shaking his hand while he's recording, and this whole ruckus is about recording.
Because we're appalled about this thing happening to this young man.
Yes, he does.
So I will. Oh, you didn't recognize her. Okay, have a seat.
And this poor guy right here.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to tell the judge everybody here has agreed to be calm and not disrupt the court.
No, we didn't agree to that. I agreed to sit down.
Well, okay. But if you do understand that the same thing could happen again, and I don't want that. Just understand that. Just hear me.
Call Patrick. Where's he?
Never, never, never understand anything they say. You are tacitly agreeing to their terms anytime you say you understand.
All right, this recording on session.
Mr. Epstein, if you'll be seated. We don't have a prosecutor.
Where is the prosecutor?
Right here.
Once again, everybody must rise before the king. And then this says, you may be seated. Because the king has shown up.
I will go here.
You can be seated, Mr. Epstein.
When the prosecutor gets here.
Well, you can be seated till he gets here. Sir, it doesn't do any good for your case to not comply with that request.
Wait, why does he have to sit?
Sir, you can be quiet also. Mr. Safsine, in the procedures in this court, as I've indicated, there's no advisors. If you need to take a break at any time to discuss the case with somebody, I would allow that as a recess if you need that. Do you understand?
Understand? Why did I not get notice of this when I sent you an awareness?
Sir, we do, if you
Equal
want to, sir.
opportunity for you guys to contact me, but you never did.
No, sir, how you do court cases in court is you want the court to consider stuff, Sir, there's no filming in court. We do have a representative of the press. Sir, there's no filming in court. We do have a representative of the press, and there is notice at the outside doors.
The representative of the press, y'all. We the people are the press. We don't need no dog tags, permission slips. It is in the First Amendment. Whether they want to recognize it or not, it's still there.
That there's no filming. So, sir, do you want to put that down, or do you want to have it taken by a police officer?
By force, you're gonna jump on me and take it away from me, please, guys.
Okay, let's go with that for argument's sake. Where is your warrant? Is that a civil or criminal for me recording in that courtroom? They're going to say contempt of court, but again, is it civil or criminal? Who's the victim? Who's making these contracts? Everybody's agreeing to this by tacit agreement of a contract. She's telling you to record. And when you put it down, you tacitly agreed to her terms of the contract.
Sir, it's your choice. You can either put it away or...
But she already...
We made a request that we were going to be recording.
She already wrote something, so... I don't... Nothing I can... I'm being nice, you know. If you want to put it down, fine. If not, they're going to take it away. I'm trying to be a...
Alright. Realize a lot of these things, y'all. All these court rules and regulations and all this kind of stuff is not really judges. It's attorneys. They're making all these things up. And all the time they figure out some other schemes, trickery of words, to make the servant bow down to their masters. Just saying. That's my opinion, y'all. I am not giving legal advice. However, this is a learning video. Treat it as you wish. But, dare I say it one more time, y'all. How can we have anything changed if we keep doing the exact same thing? That is, by definition, insanity. This will be the People News. Bye, y'all.